NC Cardinal. I don't know if he's gone online with that in the library or not, but it allows students and teachers in our county to access the public library system and to search library catalog and access electronic materials and e-content. We voted on that. And then our health director, Scott Levine, he came and discussed particularly radon gas that's found in our groundwater and indoor air. And Scott did an excellent job with this, with letting people know that they should probably be, their homes, their water, and their air should be tested for radon, but not to cause any kind of hysteria. And the reason being, something recently has come up with like I got paperwork in here. I think it's like the Roseville quarry. It's the Roseville Granite Formation. It was once believed that it just ran through Wake County and didn't cover any part of Franklin, but some new information has come out and that it almost covers all of Franklin County. And what happens when you have a large granite formation like that, radon gas is expelled through that. And I've dealt with that a little bit in a house that we have in the mountains that we're fixing up, and it's common there because of the granite. But it's just something to be aware of, and there was a whole long presentation on it, very informative information. That Scott has got it on our website. There's even a question section, frequently asked questions on there, and places where you can purchase radon kits for your air and water, and when you should or when you shouldn't test. Like I said, I won't have time to go into all that, but all that is on the website. And Scott is even trying to work with some companies to have kind of like a package deal so you can get it for a better price to have that testing. So not to cause any kind of, people to get extremely upset over this, but it's something you need to be aware of and look into.
All right, very good, very good. Yeah, I was curious about that. That was the one thing on the agenda that really caught my attention, and so that it sounds like just found out something new, and he was passing that information along.
Right, and they are working on it. Like I said, just get more information, trying to get more information for the public, packages together so you can test your air and water. Like it's something like if you test your air and it's fine, you probably don't need to test your water. But like I said, it's a lot of information about when and when not to. So I would probably just recommend people go on the website. Their little slideshow that they gave us last night is also going to be on the website. So I encourage people to go there to the Franklin County website and look for that. One date that's good, November 29th at 5 p.m. at the Cartar Cog building in Henderson. They're going to have a presentation. It's going to be a summary of the request for proposals for broadband. So any of you that are interested in broadband in our area, which I know a lot are, we are taking a regional approach with this to see what we can do as the county government. And we're going to hear about those requests for proposals that were submitted on November 29th in Henderson. So I will be at that. I know you've addressed this. I don't know if it was just a question on Facebook or through your radio station, but it's been brought up about convenience hours.
Yes.
Convenience centers.
Yes.
Angela talked some about that last night. Some of our surrounding counties like Nash, Johnson, and Granville also do what we do, cutting hours back during daylight savings time. And the reason being is safety. There are lights at every convenience center, but not, the lights don't completely shine for everything. But the biggest reason there is safety. The signage did go up a week before, but Angela did say that we could have done a better job marketing this to let people know. But the hours are 7 to 6, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So that's kind of where we are now. I just wanted to give you the reasons that Angela said that the time to change during daylight savings.
Right. And to follow up, I have definitely have a follow up question for that. Though, don't you think, Shelley, that with that being said, that even Angela admits it could have been a better job marketing, why does Franklin County not have an official Facebook page? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, and if you want to take some time to think about it and talk to me after next meeting, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Have a what now?
Have an official. Franklin County does not have an official Facebook page.
I'll ask Angela about that.
Because I mean, you know as well as I know that that's just pretty much the best. It's pretty much the best format. Of course, right today it's not being very active. I mean, not being very good for me. But you know, usually most people we all spend a lot of time on it, and I just and in terms of getting messages out to the public and for economic development, there's no official Franklin County Facebook page.
Right. I'll ask Angela about it, and I'll report back next time I call.
Well, I mean, I really do appreciate that because like I said, I always appreciate all that you do, and I encourage all of your counterparts to be as open about things as you are. You're a very open book, and that's why you'll always have my support, and I really do appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. I do want to say, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget, we will only have one meeting in December. We normally take off the second one just because it's right around Christmas. So, just so you don't think that I forgot to call or something.
No, you guys really, and I give you guys a hard time a lot of times, but you know what? You guys have jobs, you have families, and then there's nothing wrong with it because taking a break. Sometimes you got to recharge the batteries and spending that time with your family and with your friends. Sometimes that's a much needed break and a much needed diversion. It allows you. I know sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, if I can just get away for even just a few minutes, I come back and I'm all recharged and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Sometimes it just takes a few minutes. And then I have one other thing that you probably know. We're updating our comprehensive park and rec master plan, and we're trying to get some input from our citizens. And we're going to have several drop-in workshops just so everybody can share their vision for the future parks and rec in Franklin County. And I just want to mention those dates. On Tuesday, December 4th, from 5:30 to 7:30, it'll be at Franklinton High School. And Wednesday, December 5th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at Lewisburg Training Center. So anybody who's interested and has anything to say about the future of our park and rec in Franklin County, please come by and let your wishes be known.
And there you go. And Shelley, if you don't mind, if you could just email me those two dates, because that's the thing. That's a point. That's an issue that so many people want to talk about, and now's the opportunity for them to be heard. And I think
this is actually a flyer that was given to me last night, so I'll take a picture of this flyer and text it to you when we get off.
All right, yeah, perfect. And that way, I can get it up because we want to get people involved in that because again, so many people are. That's one of their big issues. And of course, when you're looking at economic development, that's a big issue, making sure you have great parks and recreation facilities. And, I'm so happy that, a lot of people gave somebody grief about the Owens Park taking so long to finally get construction started on it. But you know what? It started. I'm looking forward to it. Franklin County should all be looking forward to it. It's going to be a great place and a great new facility for Franklin County.
Oh, I think so too. And another thing I want to mention, I think it's been brought up on Facebook before, is that our economic development, Bo and Ricky. My opinion is they are wonderful, and they do a lot that's behind the scenes that most people don't even see. I don't think they get the recognition that they deserve. And plus, we put constraints on them, not by design, but they can't even go after like big industries and things like that because of our water situation. So many big industries require water. Like we couldn't even take on another Novo sign because we just don't have the water available. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I get to see them all the time, and I know we have to have closed sessions from time to time for one reason or another. but a lot of them does have to do with economic development. So unfortunately, Richie and Bo can't always share their story with the public until, something actually happens that can be made public. So I just wanted to throw that out there that I think they do an excellent job, and I work closely with them, and I appreciate what they do.
Well, thank you for that input, and thank you for letting us know that. I feel I hate it for them that they are hamstrung by that situation. It's just, my whole thing is like I think, and what you work with, you deal with them more often than I do, but it just seems like there's a big disconnect between them and what I see in other economic development leaders in the Triangle area. It just seems to be a very big disconnect, and of course too, they are hamstrung. I mean, what 70?
And not by our choice either. We constantly, and I'm not exaggerating when I say constantly, work on our water situation. And hopefully, when we have a long-term solution to that, then some of those strings will be lifted, and you'll see more when it comes to industry as far as economic development. Another thing that is kind of limiting is because we get a report. I'm on the Economic Development Board, and we get a report once a month. Next time we have one, I'll take some screenshots of our agendas because we get all kinds of graphs and things that you might be interested in. And it tells us who has been asking for what. And what I mean by that, companies that want to come in, what are they looking for? And as of right now, they're not looking for land that has trees on it. They want clear-cut land. And not only do they want clear-cut land, they want a building on it. And they want, depending on what they're looking for, they want a certain size building. And you're running into two different things there. First of all, the construction industry is booming right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nobody wants to take on building a spec building when they got cash in hand, somebody paying right then for it, not building a spec and then selling later. And then even if you could find somebody, you're running into a bank problem where a bank doesn't want to loan money when there's not a lease in place. And of course, the company doesn't want to sign a lease and you haven't even started construction. So it's like going round and around and around. And, I like to report some of those things that I hear in those meetings because sometimes you don't think about those issues. And ultimately, it seems like it falls on Richie and Bo, but it has a lot of things that constrain them at the moment.
Well, fair enough assessment right there, that situation, because if they don't have the tools to work with, then it does put them in a bind. Right,
and it's really through no fault of anybody. We're working as hard as we can concerning the water, and we're happy that the construction industry is booming, but it doesn't do well for spec building.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because and that's what they are. They're out looking for, they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that, and they really do. And in a way, they kind of get to call the shot. And just right now, and until we get the water situation, you're absolutely right. Because why invest that money on spending forward building if we don't have the actual water system that can handle it?
Yeah, just like I said, Bo has been the interim manager at the airport. That I can't say enough about the airport, how wonderful the airport is, and I want to give it as much press as possible because it is a little gem in our county. And with 401 coming by, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Just to give you an example, our tie downs where you just have a plane out, not in a hangar, but out on the tarmac. There's 25 people waiting in line just to put their plane out there.
Wow.
There are people waiting to get in a hangar. A lot of that, of course, has to do where we are located. We're centrally located. That's a wonderful deal. 401 coming by, like I said, just to make it even better. But you're also got to look at RDU. RDU is, I shouldn't use the word pushing out, but I'm going to say that, almost kind of pushing out some of their smaller corporate jets or individual planes because they're so commercial. They have to have room for all that. Those people are looking for somewhere to go. And we're so centrally located, ours would be an ideal place.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, seriously, the growth there that's happening at RDU, and I mean, RDU's turning into a monster. It's turning into one of the busiest airports in the United States, and with that growth there, that's gonna move up to us.
Right, and it is squeezing out the little man. So the little man's coming to us, and of course we welcome them. And of course, with our $12 or $13 million grant we've gotten, and we're going to have, a more fortified and longer runway, which will take some of those larger jets. They'll straighten out the road. There'll be more room for other hangars. It's only going to get better and better.
Awesome. Well, Shelly, we appreciate your time and we appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you working with me today here since I've had a little technical issue, but we look forward, and you guys have a very, very happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Shelly.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Franklin County Commissioner Shelly Dickerson joining us here on the show. And if you guys are tuning in, you can check us out on our YouTube page, WIWN What You Want Now. Just tune in there and you can find us there and watch the show on that page. Because I have no idea what's going on with the old Book of Face today. The old Book of Face es no bueno. Es no bueno here today. We're going to keep giving it a try and trying to get it out there. Did you guys watch the game last night between the Rams and the Chiefs? Oh my God, what a game. What a game that was. That game was phenomenal. Just a phenomenal game. And glad, I stayed up. I haven't watched a football game that long. I haven't watched a football game that long all year. All year, I have not watched a football game that long because, I just didn't see. I like it, but Janet was decorating and getting things ready for Christmas, and I was helping her when I could. And but I was just wrapped into that game. And it was a good game. It was a great game. And Pat Mahomes, I tell you what, he threw some crucial interceptions down there at the end of the night, but he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. Just unbelievable talent that young guy has. And he's going to be a fixture in this league for years to come. And you're going to enjoy watching this guy grow and mature in the National Football League. We'll probably see those two. We may see those two teams again in the Super Bowl. We may see them in the Super Bowl. We may not. Hey, good morning, Danny. Thank you guys for tuning in. Finally starting to get some Facebook traffic here. We've been airing over on YouTube. Facebook's been having some issues this morning, so we've been airing over on YouTube. And we're going to continue airing on YouTube and every day as well. So we'll start sharing more and more about our YouTube channel and get that information out there for you. You can't always put all your eggs in one basket, as my old buddy Billy McDowell used to say. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. And so, hey, we're going to be taking advantage and using YouTube as well here for getting the message for the show out there for you. I'm just happy that everything's starting to come back together right now. Trust me, I was sweating profusely because then my computer decided that it wanted to, God, what did my computer want to do? My computer wanted to reboot. My computer wanted to reboot. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I can't believe that you want to reboot right now. At 9:03, why do you want to reboot? Just unacceptable behavior from my computer. I did not like it in the least. But now, like I said, we're up and rolling. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for bearing with us. Thank all of our listeners over on WIWNradio.com. You guys are always there. We had a little bit of difficulty there on that side this morning with the system being the way that it was, the system being the way that it was. And again, it's still not working very well. I don't know how many of you are able to see the feed. I don't know. But again, we're airing it over here on Facebook Live and on YouTube as well. Good morning, Crayon. Thank you so much for tuning in. And my nerves are shot, so I generally don't do this on the air, and I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I was going to take a. Anyhow, thank all of you guys for coming in and joining us here on the show. You know, there was a principal in Goldsboro who had been charged with sexually raping a student. And they spent the weekend looking for Richard Omar Knight. He had been accused of raping a 12-year-old student. He was found dead Friday of an apparent suicide. The investigation will continue, however. But and there's video of him walking into the woods. Somebody caught him, captured it on a deer hunter caught it on one of his cameras. And he was carrying a blanket with him. And he just walked out there and committed suicide. That's a sad way for someone to end their life. But it kind of, that's the thing. A lot of people want to come out and say, well, hey, he committed suicide, so he was guilty. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He's not here to tell us if he was guilty or not in order to defend himself. But at the end of the day, his reputation was already ruined. Let's say he didn't do this. Let's say he did not rape the student. Let's say that didn't happen. And that just he was so tarnished that he just felt that was his only way out. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. He didn't say to defend himself. And so that kind of leads to the way, Jay Neal, of, you know what, odds are he was probably guilty. But again, so that case is pretty much closed. It's kind of like the former Rolesville police officer who brought up a sexual assault charge or a sexual harassment charge against the police chief that committed suicide. Kind of hard to argue that one. And I don't think, I don't think that person's entitled to anything. Expect that, that former police officer in Rolesville, I don't think that officer's entitled to anything. First of all, he's a grown man. Okay. I have a lot of close friends. I'm not sleeping with any of them. I've slept on floors and used beer cases for pillows, and will continue to do that. I'm not going to sleep in the bed with another dude. It's just not. I'm not comfortable doing that. I don't like it. And a lot of people say, "Well, this guy had power." I don't care how much power you have over me. I will take getting fired. I would take getting fired before I dealt with that. You would just have to fire me. And that wouldn't bother me at all. I've been fired before. I'd be fired again because I wouldn't dare put myself in that situation and allow it to continue. I just couldn't do it. I just could not do it. But again, that principal, his name was Richard Omar Knight. He is no longer with us. He has kindly exited stage left. Kindly exited. Well, no, Ron Cox. Ron Cox is going to join us tomorrow. You're not going to get lucky, pal. I might make you a cup of coffee. That's going to be about the extent of it. All right? That's going to be about the extent of it. I might make you a cup of coffee. But you're not getting lucky, pal. You'll get lucky. You get to see me. You get to hang out here on the air. And we'll readjust the studio a little bit for a two-man booth. We'll have a two-man booth in here tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have Ron Cox joining us tomorrow here on the show. Typically on Wednesdays, we do it on the afternoons. But with Thanksgiving pretty much here, I have a big feeling that a lot of people start hitting the road tomorrow afternoon. And I don't want you watching the show. You could listen to it, but I don't want you watching the show and trying to drive. That would not be a good thing. that would just not be a good thing. 919-576-9996. That's our number here on the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether you're listening in on WIWN Breeze Radio. Our Android app should be ready by the end of the week. I was working on it some last night about 1 o'clock in the morning. But we're here every day, brought to you by Tarbanks Brewing, Lewisburg Tractor, Wayne Champion, Franklin County Farm Bureau, Ryan Rayner of Rochelle Moon Realtors, First in Flight Athletics, Ruby Slippers Vintage Boutique, Rustic Roots Balmer Farms, Lancaster Funerals and Cremations, Verizon Wireless of Lewisburg, Mary's Tire and Auto, and Homes Insurance Services of Youngsville. And Ron is coming by to be on the show tomorrow, and he is not getting any chicken. All right, so J. Neal, don't worry. Ron's not going to be fed any chicken tomorrow when he comes by on the show. So just do remember that, and don't hold that against Ron. Ron may be bringing us chicken here tomorrow. I could be wrong. I could be right. All right, could be wrong, could be right. So there we go with the answer to that question. 919-576-9996. But again, that game last night was unbelievable. Unbelievable game last night with the NFL. And I know some people have vowed not to watch it. I know some people have vowed not to watch the NFL, but let me tell you what. And that's your choice. That's your decision. And these players, they had the choice and they had the decision to take a knee. And not many of them are doing that this year. All right? Not many of them are doing that at all. But if you didn't watch the game last night, you missed out on one hell of a game. I mean, it was a phenomenal, phenomenal game. You missed out on a very good one. It was a real good game. The final score was what, 54-51? 95 points scored in an NFL game. You know, just some of the numbers. I mean, Pat Mahomes threw for around 54-51 was the final score. He threw for 478 yards. 478 yards. And granted, he's only started 12 NFL games. 33-46, 478, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But, you know, the Rams quarterback, he wasn't too bad himself. He didn't do too bad of a job himself. Jared Goff, 31 of 49, 413 yards for 4 touchdowns. They kind of shut down Todd Gurley last night because when it becomes a shootout like that, you got to throw the ball. So that kind of took Todd Gurley out of play on the rushing end of things. But he had 3 catches for 39 yards, and he did not score a touchdown. First time he hadn't scored a touchdown, all season. So they kind of effectively shut down Todd Gurley. But, you know, Brandon Crooks had a big game. Josh Reynolds, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee. Gerald Everett had 2 touchdown catches. I mean, just a phenomenal game. A phenomenal game. Let's see, in the game, there were 4. I think there were only 7 punts in that game. Punt was only used 7 times. That's unbelievable that they would only punt 7 times in an NFL football game. Only 7 times. So, talking about our friends over there at Tarbanks Brewing, they've got Singo tonight. Okay, and tomorrow night, it's going to be no trivia tomorrow night, but instead, it's going to be open mic night. Open mic night at Tarbanks Brewing tomorrow night from 7 until 9. They'll be closed on Thursday night. Okay, closed on Thursday night. Nick Pangakis on Friday night for your musical entertainment. And the hot dog man, Aaron Askew, is going to be there with them on Friday night. So make sure you stop in and see our friends at Tarbanks Brewing, and we'll talk a lot more about Tarbanks Brewing tomorrow with Ron Cox. Ron's going to join us here live on the show. He's going to come in studio, and we're looking forward to having Ron on the air. And it's 14 minutes after the hour. Hey, good morning, Chad. Hope you're doing well, man. Tell you what, I was walking out of the grocery store yesterday, and I'm on the phone with one of my buddies, and I'm just walking along, mind my business, and this guy yells out of a van, "Hey man, Breeze Radio, what's up?" And it was one of our listeners. And I thank them so much for listening to us. I just dropped my conversation. And told my buddy that I was talking to, "Hey, look, man, I got one of my listeners here. And I got to talk to my listeners because you guys are what makes this station go. You guys, along with my sponsors, you guys make the station go here at WYWN Radio." All right. So again, we thank all of our sponsors for being out there with us and helping us out here on the show day in and day out. We just could not do it without you. Here's my format for today. I guess I can just chunk that out the window since everything went to hell earlier. Celebrating birthdays today. Our Facebook friends celebrating birthdays today. Let's take a look at those. And I'm trying to do a better job of keeping my studio organized and cleaned. So I put things away to store them, and now I can't find them. But now I'm looking for them, and I will find them. Some things I refuse to throw away. Some things I do throw away. Again, bear with me here. I'm trying to find some stuff. And usually, again, I'm better organized than this, but just this morning, when things go astray like that, like they did this morning, you kind of throws your day off. Throws your day off a lot. All right, there we go. I got all my stuff lined back up. I'm good to go now. I'm ready to rock and roll. So let's recognize some of our Facebook friends having birthdays today. Happy birthday to my umpiring buddy, Randy Doolin. Happy birthday to Daniel Rodas. Happy birthday to Woodrow Edwards. Happy birthday to Blake Howson. Happy birthday to Stephen Woodard. They're all celebrating birthdays today. So if you see them out and about, tell them happy birthday and thank them for being your friend, and thank them for tuning in and listening to WIWN Radio. And if they're not tuning in and listening to WIWN Radio, ask them what the problem is. What's the holdup? They're sharing their birthday today with legendary Eagles guitarist Joe Walsh, Clemson football coach Dabo Swinney, legendary host of Family Feud, Richard Dawson, the late, great Richard Dawson, who really made Family Feud hit, and just the host of that show ever since. Have done a very good job. Steve Harvey's probably my next favorite one. Okay, but I like Ray Krebs as well. Ray Krebs did a good job there. Sad story there. Bobby Kennedy would be 93 years old today if he were still alive. Happy birthday to country singer Josh Turner. And happy birthday to everybody's favorite crazy uncle, Joe Biden, former vice president, former U.S. Senator Joe Biden, celebrating a birthday today on this day here, which is the 20th day of November 2018. You've got 5 weeks until Christmas. Christmas will be here in 5 weeks. How about that? 5 weeks until Christmas. Are you getting ready? Are you getting ready? Our house is pretty much fully decked out now. You come here now, it's Christmas Central. And I went around the neighborhood last night to see if I could see if other people had lights up. And I'm like, really, people? Thanksgiving is Thursday and you don't have up any lights already? What are you waiting on? Or were we too quick? Were we too quick with our getting Christmas trees up and Christmas lights up? All right. We're going to take a real quick time out here in just a second. I'm making sure everything's functioning right. And then we're going to talk hot dogs with Aaron Askew. Aaron Askew, we're going to talk hot dogs with him. And because we did a poll yesterday. We were talking about it on the show about, do you like red hot dogs? Do you like brown hot dogs? Me, I like them both. But I've had there we go. I had here we go. Here's our poll. 75% of you, one of the most active polls we've had. 75% of you chose the red hot dogs. 75% chose the red hot dogs. And coming up after a real quick timeout, we're going to go and talk to Aaron Askew right here on the show at What You Want Now Radio. It's WIWN. Back with more of the show right after this. All right, guys, I think we're getting back to normal here. Hang tight, real quick break, and we'll be right back. Don't you dare go anywhere. Work too hard to get you here today. Work too hard to get you here today. And I told you we take quick breaks around here. We're not going to go out there and kill you with 27 minutes of commercials. All right, back here live on the show. This is What You Want Now Radio. Brent Cardwell here, 20 minutes after the hour. And we're going to go make a phone call really quick before this guy gets busy because his livelihood is selling Franks. And we're going to give Mr. Aaron Askew a call here on the show. So let's get him on. Give him a call.
Hello.
Aaron, it's the Breeze here at
Hey,
What You
man.
Want Now Radio. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Just making slow and getting ready for business here in the next hour or so.
Yeah,
How's
that's
everything with you?
Hey, man, going great. So, and I know you were busy and we planned to talk to you at 9:30, but we had some technical difficulties here this morning, so I wanted to catch up with you really quick. But
Yeah, man.
we were talking red hot dogs and brown hot dogs, and we did a poll yesterday, and 75% of our listeners, they went with the red hot dogs. But I figured, you know what? Let's talk to a hot dog professional. All right? Let's talk to a hot dog professional and find out which one sells best. Now, Aaron, do you have more success with the red hot dogs or the brown hot dogs?
Well, now it's about 50-50, but I'll tell you something about the loyalty to the red hot dog. You go places like Lewisburg or Warrenton or Henderson, and you don't have a red hot dog, people don't even want to know anything else of what you got. So that red hot dog has such a loyalty to it. The more and more people try the brown or beef dogs, the more they like them. But if you don't have that red, man, they won't even talk to you sometimes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they'll come up and say, you better have a red hot dog. And, yeah, I've got them. So even about to do a foot-long red hot dog.
Oh, a foot-long red hot dog. Wow.
Oh, yeah, we've already got the beef, but I've tracked down a red foot-long to make everybody, that loves those very happy.
Now, where in the world did you find that?
Well, Carolina Packers makes them, and Brightleaf makes them, and I've tracked down through Brightleaf a way to get them. And if you want to buy them locally, I think Supply Line in Henderson, I believe, carries them on their shelf.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. And
Yeah.
and so usually on the daily reg, where do you set up at?
Well, I'm in Warrenton 2 days, Mondays and Wednesdays over by the fire department. I'm out in a little place called Macon, North Carolina, population 118. Out there Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm over at a Dollar General in Norlina on Fridays for my regular lunch service. And then, of course, Park Range has been really good about having me out Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays. I'll be there this Friday, of course, for the live music.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm so glad to see that you're going to be out there with Ron and those guys Friday night. And if you ask me, I haven't even had any turkey yet. I'm already tired of turkey, so I would prefer to have a hot dog. So, what are the most popular toppings that you're putting on hot dogs?
Well, being here in North Carolina, we got a very unique topping set called All the Way. which is mustard, onions, chili, and slaw. You go other places. We were in Chicago early this year learning how to do a Chicago dog from Vienna beef, and their all the way is completely different than our all the way, come to find out. So most popular is mustard, onions, chili, and slaw.
Mustard, onions, chili, and slaw. I know what they're in Chicago, like they do relish and tomatoes, right?
Yeah, you got sport peppers, you got pickle spears, you've got tomatoes, celery, salt, mustard, and chili. All sorts of stuff on it up there.
Yeah, who in the hell wants to put a tomato on a hot dog? Not me. I know I don't want to do that. Well, look, man, I know you got to get prepped for your day and everything, but I wanted to give you a quick shout because I wanted to talk to the master. And if you want to tell everybody the name of your business and tell them where you're going to be at Friday night.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Brent. Taking time to call and ask. The name of the stand is The Wandering Dog, DAWG. I'll be out at Tarbanks this Friday, starting ready to serve at 5:30 until there's no more hungry people. If you guys want to find me on Facebook, you can look up The Wandering Dog, or it's facebook.com/DAWGSNC.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for taking your time today to talk to us here on the show. And we're going to push you to sell as many hot dogs as possible come Friday night when you're in downtown Lewisburg at Tarbanks Brewing.
Man, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care. Thank you so much.
You too.
Aaron Askew, the Wandering Dog. Not meaning that he's a dog. He sells hot dogs. And if you want to ride up to Warrenton today and try a hot dog from Aaron, do that. But if you want to wait till he comes to Lewisburg, he's going to be at Tarbanks Brewing Friday night. And you know you're going to be tired of turkey already. And like I said, I haven't even had any turkey, and I doubt if I even eat turkey. I'm not a big turkey fan. Just not. Not a big fan. I mean, I like turkey burgers, and I like ground turkey, like for taco meat or spaghetti sauce. But as far as slicing up a bird on Thanksgiving Day, hell, I'd rather have turkey tacos. That's what I'd rather have. I'd rather have the turkey tacos. That's just me. I'm weird like that. Very weird like that. So that's just my opinion. But we thank Aaron for taking some time out. You know, we're going to talk to him at 9:30. We had some technical difficulties. Then we had to get Shelly on. And it was a great conversation with Shelly Dickerson. And I appreciate her addressing some of my thoughts and, you know, a lot of the economic development issues. Because I do. I ride the Franklin County Economic Development Department hard. I really do. But she brought up some points, and it just makes me wonder. It makes me ask then, well, here's the deal. If we're going to have, you know, if we don't have the goods to